I hear something.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Yay! How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good, 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 good.
Hey, there's Daniel. How are you, Daniel?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
Excellent. Okay.
Nice.
One more minute and we will start.
How's your life, Oria?
Good. Working hard.
Good.
Okay, so here we are at spinning the matrix, a new modality based on other modalities that I've learned in the recent past and the far off past, and I'd like to share it with you. So, but before I share it with you, let's hear a little bit about what you came for. So Daniel, what did you come to learn over here?
I came here to walk away with techniques, reliable techniques that I can use to effectively heal my internal representations. And I have the fast reactive belief system, which is perfect, the best one I can imagine. And I simply need more techniques, and that's what I'm here for.
Okay, excellent. Or yeah, what do you come here for?
Actually, there was no narrow, nothing narrow. I came to participate, to hear about the new spinning metrics that you're teaching, to learn about it, what this is all about. I'm just here to listen and learn and participate, of course.
Okay, excellent, excellent. I just wanted to say again that I'm really glad that you're on video, but I hope you don't mind. I'm going to be videoing it and possibly putting it on YouTube, and it will certainly be here available on Learn It Live as a recording for people to view afterwards. But people who get videoed are the ones who get the most results. So
yeah. So do I have to have to work on my look?
Right. Well, not just yet. First, we're going to get a little bit into the theory behind it, and then after we do the theory, then I'll put you guys big on screen together with me so that people can actually see what's going on. Okay, as we do this course about spinning the matrix, what do we know about the matrix? Anybody know what a matrix is?
The matrix is believed to be some kind of a hologram,
Right.
or a holographic representations of ourselves.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, the Matrix. I've heard of it, but I don't know.
Okay, so basically, in our life, from the years of 0 till the years of 5 to 7, depending on who you ask, we record everything that we see around us. We're like a blank slate, and we just take everything in. We don't judge whether it's good. We don't judge whether it's bad. We just take it in as it is and accept it. Now, this, whatever we take in during those years becomes our baseline. Those experiences are stored inside of us, inside our neurology, and outside of us, inside our matrix. The matrix is that area around you, which is part of your neurology. If you ever felt yourself that someone was staring at you from the behind, and then you looked and you saw they were really staring at you, what you were feeling basically are that neurology that's inside your matrix that felt the energy from that stare from the other person. Okay, so it's all around you. It's the most complicated but the most organized filing system of everything that happens in our life that's stored around us and inside of us. Now, whatever we feel inside of us, we also have a counterpart for it outside of us. And in this way, when we include both the inside, the outside, we have a better way of getting rid of whatever we're holding inside of us and changing it. And that's what we do in spinning the matrix. Before we start that, though, what I want to go into is what exactly is a memory? Who knows what a memory is?
Where memory is a recorded information.
Right.
That's what a memory is. That's all I know.
It's
Some way we
information. Is it correct recording?
Well, two people can have been at the same physical event and internalize two completely different internal representations. So it's often a distorted view. It's not a recording, it's an internalization.
It's an imperfect recording of something that happened a long time ago that basically we saw through our own filters. Those filters are based on what we hold inside of us, what we recorded inside of us from ages 0, which is conception, till ages 5 to 7. And those filters basically change what we actually saw to agree with what we have inside. Let's take a step back for a moment. We have two minds, basically. We have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is that mind which is like the 3-year-old. It talks the loudest, it yells and screams, it will try to get you to do what it wants it to do, and as soon as there's any sign of trouble, it will be the first one to check out and leave. The subconscious mind, or the rest of us, is what actually does all the work inside of us. Now, what the subconscious mind does is every experience that comes in, it checks and it says, did we see this beforehand? And it goes and looks inside its file system and says, yep, we did. It says, okay, bring it in. And you put it in and you have another thing that's hooked onto that same hook of that type of experience. If it isn't something that we've seen before, it chucks it right out. Okay, doesn't keep it anymore. So if, let's say, you're holding inside of you traumatic experiences, abuse, and things like that, and then someone loving comes along when you're a bit older, you don't recognize it. It doesn't fit into what you hold inside of you, and doesn't matter if that's good or bad, because the subconscious mind can't distinguish between good and bad. It just distinguishes between what's there and what's not there.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what we hold inside of us is that anchor which holds us back from achieving what we want to achieve in life, from going where we want to go to. Because every time we start going there and we check it with our subconscious mind, what we hold inside of us, it says, this isn't a match. Get out of here. We don't want you over here. And then you'll start sabotaging yourself. You get too scared and you'll stop. You'll wreck something, like you'll waste all your money. You won't have any money left. Whatever it is that you're going to do, you're going to sabotage it so you can stay with what you have inside of you. And that's what stops us from changing our life on the outside. Any questions?
Yeah, it's just you have lots of bad past references around, for example, anything and anyone or partners, and someone shows up and they're true and honest and they're loving and they're willing to spend their life with you, they really like you, you'll go, oh, that doesn't fit my past references. That's so boring. I'm not used to someone just loving me without any trauma or abuse. I'm going to leave this one and find someone who can abuse me on an unconscious level.
Exactly. So if you find in your life, time after time, another abusive relationship, what does that actually say about you?
Yeah, exactly. That you hold something within that's keep attracting those types of people.
That's right. It's attracting the abusive people. It's something that you feel comfortable with. It's something that you feel that it's not that you feel comfortable with it, but it's something that your inner mind recognizes as the same, as opposed to different. And since it's the same, it allows it in, even though you don't necessarily like it from the outside. Okay, so what our goal over here is to figure out ways of how to change what we hold inside of us so that we can then change what we see on the outside of us.
Okay. Very good.
Okay. Now, another point you have to accept is that the longer you have an issue inside of you, the longer you have an experience held inside of you, then the harder it's going to be to change. That doesn't mean it's impossible to change. It just means that you're going to have to work harder in order to change it. Okay? Now, how do you change it? One good way of changing it. Yeah, continue.
Well, I just tap, or I use your mixtape audio, Crossfire audio, and tap to it without any words.
Right. Let me just give a little bit of background to people who don't know what tapping is. I come from a background of faster EFT tapping. Faster EFT tapping has a certain belief system. That belief system, you can help me along if you want, Danielle, because you know it as well. Victoria. Number one, nobody is broken. Okay? All that we're doing is we're running programs that are no longer useful. They used to be useful once upon a time ago, maybe when we were younger. And we're still running them, but they don't serve us anymore. They're not useful. And in order to change it, we just have to go inside and change the program, which is the same thing as changing the matrix, whether it's through EFT, whether it's through faster EFT, or whether it's through spinning. What we're doing is we're changing what we hold inside of us. Okay? Second thing is in terms of tapping, we tap on what we call meridian points inside the body. Now, it was found that when you tap on the meridian points, you basically calm yourself down. It's like you're sending a message to your brain. It's okay. You don't have to go into fight or flight mode because it's not an emergency now. You might conceive it as an emergency when you were 3 years old, but now that you're an adult, it's not an emergency anymore. You don't have to go into fight or flight, and you calm down the fight and flight reaction that starts up inside of you.
Yeah.
The last thing that it does, well, not the last thing, but one of the things that it does is it breaks up. If you hold something inside of you, even if you don't know what it is, every time that you tap, when you feel it, and then you come out, you basically break what you're holding, which means you break it into 1, 2 pieces, and into 4 pieces, and into 6 pieces, 8 pieces, continuing onwards and onwards, until it's so many little pieces, you can't possibly put it together again. And then you don't feel it anymore. Okay? Is that understood by everybody? Anyone have any questions?
No questions.
Exactly. That's right.
Okay, now one of the ways that we can change things really quickly is by creating neuroplasticity. Mm-hmm. Neuroplasticity is created by feeling really, 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 really good. Now, if you recall in our faster EFT tapping, before we start the tap, I usually have you go into a good place, right? Have you go there, feel as if you're there right now, tap it in, and then anchor it. And then every time that we tap on something that we want to get rid of, at the end of the tap, we go into that good thing. Aside from breaking the bad stuff and putting good neuronal connections to the good things, what we're also doing is creating neuroplasticity with the good feelings. Another way of creating neuroplasticity is with the use of oxytocin. Oxytocin is basically gotten either through orgasms, which we're obviously not going to do over here, eating chocolate. Chocolate has lots of oxytocin in it. Or just going into places where make you feel really, 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 really good. And when you go into those places and amplify that good feeling inside of you, it will make it much easier for you to be able to change things that you hold inside of you afterwards.
You mean if we eat oxytocin?
That's correct.
So if I eat lots of dark chocolate, you mean that my tapping will work better?
That's correct.
Is oxytocin, is it the same effect with other good feeling hormones like endorphins and?
Yeah.
Or is it specific with oxytocin?
It's specific to anything that makes you feel really good.
Oxytocin, okay.
Like laughter?
Laughter is also great. Comedies. People have healed themselves from cancer by just watching comedies day and night. Just laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. Not allowing anything negative into their life. Mm-hmm. Okay, so anything that's going to put you in a really good, happy place, really pleasurable state, is going to help you change. Okay, we're all for those good, happy things. Mm-hmm. Okay, the other thing is getting playful. Okay, having fun while you're doing it. If you're not having fun, it's not going to be nearly as effective. Now, in some of these techniques, you might not always believe it's going to work, but you don't even have to believe it. You just have to do it. You have to follow the instructions, have fun while you're doing it, and you'll get the change, even if you don't believe it. And after you get the change, you'll probably believe it. So it doesn't make a difference. Okay? Questions?
No.
Okay. Now, the first thing that we have to do in order to be able to create this change is we have to learn how to dialogue with our other part of us, that unconscious part of us, the subconscious part of us. Okay, we know the conscious mind is a loud mind, the mind that's going to yell the loudest, talk the loudest, all that inner chatter that you hear inside your mind, that's all your conscious mind. All those chatter that you have that tries to convince you out of doing things, tries to rationalize things, tries to tell you why you should or shouldn't do something that you do or don't want to do, that is your conscious mind speaking. The subconscious mind, the unconscious mind, the part that actually does the work, will always be the one that answers first. It will always sound like you made it up. You'll always have this tremendous urge to just change it, to edit it. It's never loud. It sort of sounds like this whim or notion somewhere in the back of your head, and it's almost never ever linear. Now, when I work with my clients, I often tell them, just give me the first impression, first thing that pops into your mind. And they'll say something and they'll go, huh? Like, what's that? And I'll say, that's it. That's your subconscious mind giving you the key. So always look for that first answer, the one that's quiet, the one that doesn't seem to make sense, the one that you want to edit, that you don't want to say out loud, do you think it sounds too stupid? Always go for that one. Okay, now, when we think of our memories, we basically encode our memories in a specific way inside our matrix. Okay, anyone know what the VAK is? VAK stands for visual, auditory, and kinesthetic.
Okay.
Aside from the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, which I'll explain in a moment what they are, you also have the olfactory and gustatory. Okay? So what it basically means is, visual is when we see things. Do we see them as big, as small? What colors are they? Are they bright? Are they dim? Is it black and white? Okay, all those things are within the visual format of how we encode things. Auditory is how we encode things in terms of how we hear it. Is it loud? Is it soft? Is it shrill? Is it a cacophony? Is it something from the back of our mind? Is it this little sound that we hear someplace? All those are how we encode the auditory. Kinesthetic is what we feel. Do we feel that it's, how do you say, do we feel sad? Does it make us feel happy? Does it make us feel like we want to jump up and down? All those are kinesthetic. The gustatory and olfactory are a little bit less used, but they're also used. Sometimes you'll pass by a bakery and smell a smell of some sort of cake, and it'll suddenly remind you of the cake that your grandma used to bake, or a cake that you used to smell on the way home from school when you're walking from the bakery on your way home from school. Same thing goes with taste. You'll taste something and suddenly it'll bring up some memory about something that your mother used to make when you were a small child. Something that either represented love to you, something represented something that wasn't loving to you. It could be either one. But that's the way we encode for all our memories inside our neurology. Now, let's say, who wants to be a demonstrator over here? My demonstratee.
Okay, I can be.
Okay, hold on, let's open this up here, big. Okay, so what I want you to do, Danielle, is I want you to think about a memory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want you to point to where you see that memory.
Yeah.
Okay, point with your finger so that we can see.
Here.
Okay, how big is it?
This big, like 30 centimeters.
Okay, is it a good memory or is it a bad memory?
Bad memory.
Bad memory. It's like 30 centimeters. Is it black and white or is it in color?
Black and white.
How far away is it from you?
It's 30 centimeters away from me.
30 centimeters away. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to take this memory. I want you to make a frame around it.
Okay.
Do it literally with your hand. And now take the two sides of the frame and make it really, 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 really big as you can. How's it feel now? Better or worse?
It feels like someone is tickling me.
Tickling you. Interesting. Okay. Now shrink it down really, really, really small. Really, really small. Okay. How's it feel now?
Good.
Good. Okay. Now bring it way up close.
Yeah.
How's it feel now?
Good.
Now bring it really, really far away. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels even better.
Even better. Okay. Bring it back to where it was beforehand.
Yeah.
Make it normal size. And now change the color so that it's a color instead of black and white. Does it feel bigger, better, or worse?
Back to like before, you mean?
Back to where it was before, same size, 30 centimeters. Okay. And now just change it so that now it's in color and not in black and white. Does it feel better or worse?
I feel better.
Feel better. Okay. All those things that we changed are the building blocks of how you encode it visually. Whether it was this small, this big. You notice how when you made it really, really big, it felt like someone was tickling you suddenly, right? Made it blow it up close, made you feel better.
Yeah.
Right farther away. Okay. Each time we maneuvered it, we changed it a little bit. Now, when you hold something bad inside of you, we can simply change it just by doing those movements. That's simple NLP, neuro-linguistic programming.
Yeah.
Okay, same thing goes for the auditory and the kinesthetic. But if we want to do a much better job at doing it, what we do is we try to get everything involved. Okay, as my mentor says, the mitsu, my mentor David Snyder. Get the mitsu involved and you get much better. Okay. Or yeah, do you want to demonstrate or should Neil demonstrate again?
Sure.
Okay, you demonstrate. What I want you to do is I want you to think of a memory that you don't like.
That I don't like. Okay.
But you don't like it, but on a level of 0 to 3. 1 to, all right, let me explain something. Before we go into that, let me explain something about bucket listing. Okay? When we asked you to make a bucket list, what I want you to do is I want you to write up a list of, let's say, 10 things where each one of those things has a different charge to it, starting from 0, going up to 10, where 10 is the highest.
Emotional charge, right?
10 is the highest, 0 is the lowest. Now, when you want to work on yourself to begin with, you never, ever, ever want to start with a 10. Why? Because let's say you start with a 10, something that's really, really, really big. Now, what your mind does, your subconscious mind does, as I said before, every time you start something, you have a new experience, it checks inside of you to see, did I have this experience before? If it says no, it chucks it out. If it says yes, it keeps it in. Okay, now let's say you start something with a 10 and it's really, really strong, and you try using this new technique and it's not working well, and in the meantime your subconscious mind is saying, have we ever used this technique before? Nope. Chuck it out. Didn't work, just chuck it out, and you'll never use it again, even though it could be an amazing technique. Now let's say you start on something that has a bucket that has emotional charge of 1, and you use it and it works. Bam-o. Now you have a new starting point inside of you, where next time you start with something that's a 2, your subconscious mind says, wait, did we ever use this technique before? Oh yeah, we did. It worked. Great, let's do it again. And then you build it up to a 2 and it will work again. And then you have another piece on your hook that shows that's a success. When you get to the 3 and 4, it will do the same exact thing. It's going to check. Did we ever use this technique before again? Oh yeah, it did, and it worked. Great, let's work this one too. Put another 2 on the hook, so that when you get up to the 10, gradually, it will work without any problem. Okay, everyone understand that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to pick something that's on a level between 1, 2, or 3, not higher than that.
Okay, 3.
Well, I thought I was doing it this time.
Oh, sorry.
I'm trying to think of something. You mean something from the last days or something from the back far?
Doesn't make a difference.
I haven't gotten anything.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so Danielle, you have something that's a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, all I want you to do is follow my instructions. Okay? Or you already know the technique. You don't know it yet, so it might be even better that you're doing it. Okay? What I want you to do is notice as you think of this feeling that's around a 3, that there's a feeling inside of your body connected to it. I want you to take your finger and point to where it is in your body. Okay? And if it's down or below, then just tell us, show us, or tell us where it is because we can't see it on the video.
Here.
Okay, so up in your stomach area, abdomen. And I want you to notice that there's a color that's attached to it. What color is it?
It's like dark black.
Dark black. Okay, excellent. I want you to make sure that it's really dark black. I want you to pull it all out of you from that abdomen. All that dark black stuff inside of you. Just pull it out and hold it out in front of you. Okay? Just follow instructions. Pull it out. Make sure you get every last bit of it. Don't leave any of it inside.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
And now with your mind's eye, take a look and see what color it is now.
Red.
Red. Perfect. I want you to notice it has a spin to it. Which way is it spinning?
This way.
Okay. I want you to take it by the 2 sides, and I want you to make it be the opposite of what it was before. And as you do that, I want you to start spinning it faster and faster. Spin it the opposite of what it was before.
Oh.
With both hands, spinning it faster and faster, and doubling the speed, and doubling the amplitude, and doubling the magnitude, and keep doubling it over and over again until you know it can never go back to the way it was before, until you know that it can only take on a new life force of its own and get better and better as it goes in. And we know you got it for all the right reasons. I want you to slam it right back into where you took it out from.
Into my belly.
That's right. Slam it right back in. And feel it surging through your body, going through a cycle, through your whole bloodstream, all around, coming back to what it was before, just growing bigger and bigger and better and better. And see that smile on your face? I can tell. It's feeling better.
Yeah.
Right? Any feelings, any sensations you might be feeling are just your body letting go of the old and allowing it in you. Just like a snake sheds its old skin when it takes on a new skin, and just like a computer sheds its old programs and takes on a new program. So your body needs to shed all those old programs, the old memories, to allow in the new ones that make you feel better. How you feeling now?
Good. I feel much, much better.
Okay. Did I ask you what it was about?
No.
Did you have to know what it was about?
No.
Right? Did it change it?
Yeah, it did.
Good. Excellent. Okay, we're going to end soon. The one thing that I want to end with you over here is when people work on themselves, aside from trying to go straight to the hardest possible thing, the highest emotional charge, what they do is they do it once. They feel, oh, it's better. If they do correctly, meaning they take something that's a low charge, right? They feel better. And then they say, but wait a second, the next day it came right back again. Okay, so what's going on over here? There's a few things going on. First thing going on is that you have what's called the peeling the onion syndrome. Okay? You took off one layer, and now another layer can come up. Before you took that other layer off, the layer couldn't come up. Now you took it off, the next layer comes up. The second thing that comes over here is if you look at, let's say, a table. How do we draw with this thing over here? Here we go. Here's the drawing. Okay. Let's say you have a table. Don't mind my drawing skills when you're dealing with a mouse.
Sorry, again, you were saying that as we release one thing, we notice that more things come up.
That's correct. Till you get down to the core issue and get rid of it all.
Okay, will you tell us the concrete technique later?
I would say like this. When you are dealing on your own, when you're trying to heal yourself, the best way to do it is every time something starts to trigger you, before it gets big, before it grows enormous, when it's just starting, either tap, spin, whatever other technique you do that you know helps you get it down.
How do you spin? You just notice where it is and you take it outwards and then you spin it?
Notice where it is, point to it.
Okay.
Okay. Notice the color. Take it out. Notice the color again.
Yeah.
Notice the spin.
Yeah.
And then make it be the opposite. And when you got it, as fast as it can be, it can never go back, you slam it right back in. Hey, you just did it beforehand, remember?
Yeah.
Okay, now what you are doing, every time you hit a trigger and you get it at the very nip of it, before it starts to get big, you start cutting it down. And then the next time it comes up, you cut it down some more. And the next time it comes up, you cut it down some more. Till eventually, it could be, depending on how often you are tapping, how often you are spinning, it could be over the period of 2 months. It could be the period of 1 week. It could be the period of 1 day. I can tell you from my own personal experience that a few weeks ago, I had a very big crisis in the family. And every time I even thought about it, I would just burst into tears. I spent almost a full 26 hours. I mean, every time I'd wake up, I would do it again. Spinning and tapping and tapping and spinning. By the end of the 26 hours, I was at the point where I could talk about it and I could be sensible. I could have a normal conversation without bursting out into tears. Okay?
2 weeks ago, you said.
Excuse me, 2 weeks ago this happened, yes.
Okay, but everything is okay.
Everything's going to be okay. Okay, now, most people do not work 26 hours on something. I had a special case, I work 26 hours. Most things that I work on by myself go over the period of, let's say, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, where I just keep cutting it down until it gets further and further away that I get triggered, number one. And number two, as I get further and further away that I get triggered, it gets less and less as well. It no longer bothers me nearly as much. So if the first time it bothered me, let's say, a 7. Second time it bothered me, it was still a 7. By the 5th time, it was down to a 5. By the 15th time, it was down to a 3. By the 30th time, it was down to 1. And by the 34th time, there was no 34th time because it was already a 0. Okay? It just being relentless, doing it over and over and over and over again every time it comes up on the spot, not waiting till it gets big. Because what happens if you wait till it gets big? You're going to start drowning it. It's going to be like quicksand. It's going to pull you in and you won't be able to get yourself out. That's when it's big. That's when you go to a practitioner. That's when I go to a practitioner. That's when most people have to go to a practitioner to help them. If you want to work on it by yourself, you do it as it comes up on the spot without waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
And with that, we will end this class. And I hope to see you all next class, which will probably be in around 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
I will send out emails to everybody, and I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Well, I found 2 powerful ways to tap. One is to heal. One is to, and I can share this. One is to just tap with or without the crossfire audio till the problem is gone. And the second is also to use my intention to heal, which means I write down every 3 hours. I write down, it is my intention to heal, and so it is. Just by doing that, writing that down every 3 hours, so much emotional charge is dropped.
Excellent. I agree with you 100%. Let me just give some people background about the Crossfire audio. I created a Crossfire audio which When you hear it with earphones, you hear one voice coming from one side, one voice coming from another side, and one voice sounding in the middle of your head. Now, even if you just listen to it without tapping, but certainly if you're tapping along at the same time, what it does is it creates such confusion in your mind that the messages from the audio, which are all good messages, just go straight to your subconscious. Okay? It's sort of like coming in through the back door, where it's no longer checked to see whether it matches what you hold inside of you anymore. So if you're interested in it, you can come to my site, which is optiontoheal.com. See if I can find where you type over here. Just writing it down, I think might be a little bit harder.
Do you have a presentation note to put in the end with your website?
I'll write it up here at the side right now because I didn't manage to get to it, being that I had this family crisis. But I didn't want to delay this because I already delayed it once for the family crisis, so I decided to just go ahead with it. But I'm writing it down in the notes at the side over here, optiontoheal.com. If you go over there to my site, you'll be able to see what crossfire tapping and a crossfire audio that you can purchase for $20, which is really not a lot considering how much use you get out of it at the end of the day.
One question. If
yes.
I listen to the crossfire audio with just a computer, with no headphones, I felt that is not as effective.
That makes sense, because when you're hearing it from all sides, it becomes more effective. It's more confusing.
And
although when I work with clients who don't have earphones and they just hear it from their computer and they hear my voice as well, it works just as well.
Oh, yeah. Headphones or earphones that you put inside your ear, doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
Right. Great. Yeah. What I feel when I listen to the crossfire audio without tapping is that it heals me so good that then I come to a point where I feel that everything is just coming up. And I just start, the more I continue to listen to it, the more I feel that things heal, but the more I feel that I have stuff inside me to heal.
That's normal. As I said, you uncover one layer, the next layer that couldn't come up beforehand can now come up.
Yeah, so I came to a point where I'd listened to it so much that I needed to take a break and find a way to listen to it just a few moments a day.
Okay, that's normal, that's fine.
Yeah.
But now you have another tool to your repertoire that you can use. And with this one, you don't have to know at all what you're working on. You just have to feel it, feel where it is, where you feel it, and then pull it out, spin it, and put it back in as the opposite.
Okay.
It's extremely effective, really extremely effective. And the other thing I'd like to offer is if anyone would like to pick my brain, see if they're fit for working with me or anything else, I offer a free 30-minute consultation. You can contact me at my email address, which is actually this is at the beginning. Hold on, no, not here. Here I have www.optiontoheal.com and Ilana@optiontoheal.com. Okay, so this is my email address. If you want to get in touch with me, set up a free consultation. You're more than welcome to. It's my gift to you. And you can find out more information about me at optiontoheal.com. And if anyone has any questions about me, then you can either ask now or save it for the next time, which will be in around 2 weeks.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ilana. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ilana.
Yeah.
And next time we're going to learn more techniques till we get to the final technique of spinning the matrix. We're going to demonstrate changing the matrix with tapping. We're going to demonstrate the magic frame. And then the third session will be the actual spinning the matrix to change the matrix through spinning, which is really very cool. So you won't want to miss it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Ilana. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.